You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm and Jupiter. A world-class experience. Visit BremenBMW.com. And by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Alley-oop. And Horford got fouled as he goes crashing to the parquet floor. Oh, and Smart going at J.R. Smith.
Because I think Smart believes that they pushed Al Horford while in the air.
Yeah, that's a dirty play. Now, they might look at that as a flagrant foul as well.
Someone who's vulnerable up in the air like that, to me, those are undercalled flagrant fouls.
I got a little chippy. A
little bit.
Little chippy last night.
Well,
the Cavs go down 2 games. But LeBron's cool with it.
yeah, he's like no panic at all. Is it almost annoying though? Like, is it coming across as overconfident by him?
No, I mean, he's been in this position before. I mean, that's the one thing. He's lived through it. You know, this isn't the first time that, he's been down.
Yeah.
Even 2 games.
Well, this is the first time he's been down 2-0 in a conference final since 2008, coincidentally against Boston.
Mm-hmm.
But that was I think the first ride he had to with the Cavs when he was originally there before he came to Miami.
Right.
But that was the Big 3 era.
Some of those losses that started to pile up to piss him off to the point where he wanted to leave Cleveland, which might be losses that are piling up to piss him off to the point where he wants to leave Cleveland.
Yeah, kind of works out that way.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, the fact that they got in the draft lottery, they only got the 8th pick, which was that big pick that they got from Boston for Kyrie Irving. That didn't really work out for him either.
Right.
Because it's not a stacked draft.
Well, I mean, if last night's game told you one thing, too. It's like the boy needs help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, when those critical games come down, LeBron crushes it, 42 points, triple-double, 12 assists, 10 rebounds. And then after that, that's pretty much about it. He had 21 of Cleveland's 27 points in the first quarter. That was a career high for points in a period. And Kevin Love has 22. Aside from that, that's about it. Korver off the bench with 11 and nobody else. And that's a telltale sign of the difference of these 2 teams. It is LeBron against the Celtics. Because if you look at their scoring, it's spread down everybody. I mean, everybody had a hand in that Boston win last night with Brown with 23. Rozier had 18. Horford, 15. Morris has 12, and Tatum has 11. I mean, you look at those numbers, and it's almost even.
How does this keep happening to him? You know what I mean? Like, he comes to Miami to get it fixed, to play with other guys. They finally get it fixed in Cleveland where Kyrie is there. They get Kevin Love. And again, he finds himself in this situation.
He finds himself in this situation in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I mean, would Pat Riley let these – I think Pat Riley did a pretty good job of putting players around him. He did not really have this problem in Miami. I mean, did we ever have to say, he had to carry the heat?
No.
I don't – I mean, you had players around him. You had Bosh. You had D-Wade.
And then he also had
Birdman.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a good roll around. It's almost like LeBron, you brought this on yourself. You got nobody to blame but yourself. Why is Kyrie not there? Is it because of LeBron?
Pushed him out.
You brought that on yourself. Don't sit here and cry for LeBron too hard. He's in the situation he's in because of the choices he's made. I sound like my mom talking to me.
Yeah, I was going to say. Who are you yelling at? You yelling at 14-year-old you?
But he is.
You got to sit him down and talk to him. We got to talk some sense into him.
You got one person to blame for his situation. It's him.
Listen to this, okay? To your point. Celtics starting backcourt last night had 41 points. Cavs starting backcourt had 3 points. I mean, that is not
J.R. Smith and Hill. Which Hill has been good for them, too, which is funny. But if you also want to look at something, look at the box score and see how many minutes Larry Nance Jr. and Rodney Hood played. Once they actually started to come back, for some odd reason, Tyronn Lue decided that he was going to start circulating some of these players that have not been productive for him. So they start getting some minutes, and everything falls apart.
That's right.
And the crazy thing about this, I mean, as you would expect, it's the NBA, it's the Eastern Conference Finals here. Things are going to get chippy. Things are going to be physical. But it was Tyronn Lue that was saying that the Celtics are gooning the game up and pinning it all on them. So,
man,
if anyone's playing dirty, who do you think's playing dirty in this game? I mean, after you saw what happened with J.R. Smith last night, getting the flagrant one.
Well, I mean, Celtics basketball is the way that they're playing it right now is a very physical game. This is true. But I mean, J.R. Smith was obviously the worst. The other situation that happened where it looked really physical was when Tatum hit LeBron in the head.
But that was an accident.
It was a complete accident. He basically ran into his shoulder.
That seemed a little bit. Did LeBron seem the same after that? That seemed like a game changer right there.
Definitely was.
Yeah.
It was weird because you're watching it and it's like, oh, now he's completely thrown him off his game. But you never see him leave. Which is the weird thing. Like you see him.
He was out like 2 minutes and then he comes back.
Yeah, but you just never see him leave the court. Like he always just stays on no matter what.
He don't want anybody call him a crybaby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which that's happened once or twice.
He don't want to try to take the blame.
Once or twice.
he loves it much more that all you're talking about is that you're saying the rest of the team let him down. He had to love that SNL sketch that they did a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you know he did.
Where they made fun of the rest of the Cavalier team for not doing anything.
What he should have done is that after that game, just go into the locker room, pull up one of the white screens, and project that skit right onto the white screen to show everybody else.
Yeah,
because he's like, dude, I put up 45 tonight, 42,
42.
Yeah,
I put up 42
Triple-double.
tonight. Had a triple double, and we lost by like 13. In real, like I mean, like the players have to look at themselves.
You can't
at
blame
some
him.
point in time. Yeah, he's doing his job.
You can't blame him. He did pretty much all
But
anybody could
Kevin
do.
Kevin made the right point. He did this to himself.
So J.R. Smith can't score, so I guess he can just shove everybody else around.
Bro, it's kind of a career thing for him.
Yeah, Marcus Smart called him a bully last night.
We're out there to play basketball, and I just looked at it. Al's he's a defenseless, person. He's in the air. He can't control how his body goes, and he's not even looking in. You go and take two hands to the back. It's a dirty shot. And you just can't allow that to keep happening. This is not the first time JR has done some dirty stuff, especially playing against us. He's known for it, especially playing against us. We know that. So if it's like a bully, you keep letting the bully keep picking on you. He's gonna keep picking on you until you finally stand up, and that's what I tried to do. One of my guys was down, and I took offense to it.
Mm-hmm. I don't blame him, and that's why I find it so funny how Tyronn Lue has the nerve to say that the Celtics are gooning it up. Dude, your guy J.R. Smith is a typical goon. Like he's a career goon. What are you doing? You just make yourself look dumb.
He's like one of those guys in the NHL that pretty much
Yes.
their sole job is to go out there. They're not going to score.
Right.
They're going to go out there, they're going to start a fight, and they're going to throw the other team off, or they're going to go after whoever the best player is on the other team to try
Right.
to throw them off their game or hurt them.
I mean, and I get Tyronn trying to, defend his players, so to speak. But you don't go out and put it on the other team when they haven't done anything wrong. Now you just look like a crybaby. Mm-hmm. Which, I guess, Tyronn Lue's a crybaby.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Anybody waste their time on that NBA lottery draft last night
No.
that happened on ESPN?
I was a little disappointed, though, because I was really looking forward to seeing Little Penny make an appearance with the Magic.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
that's
didn't-
right.
Yeah, I forgot that I didn't see
Forgot
it.
they were doing that.
Yeah, boy, it was getting ripped apart on Twitter last night. People just saying, what a waste of my time. This is, kind of like they pulled like an American Idol trick out of the bag.
Yeah.
American Idol just like does all this nonsense. A show that can be done in 30 minutes, they stretch out to 3 one-hour shows in the week.
Yeah.
It was basically the same thing last night. People were blasting it on Twitter last night, just talking about how useless the whole show was, basically. Somebody said the NBA Draft Lottery is definitely one of the stupidest things ESPN has turned into a fully sponsored hour-long program. Somebody else said, so the NBA/ESPN really going to try and drag out this draft lottery show for an hour?
They did.
This used to be a halftime show special.
It was true.
And somebody said an hour-long draft lottery show, and ESPN wonders why everybody hates them.
Yeah. That's a pretty good point. Twitter was on point last night, I think, with that.
Yeah, drawn out and awkward, too.
Was it?
There's just some weird moments where they were trying to, weave in and out Adam Silver and stuff like that. It was just, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like, why are they trying to weave him in and out? And an hour?
Yeah.
Like, whose idea was that? I mean, I get it. It's capitalism at its best. You want to put a bunch of sponsors behind it and make some more money, but, man, you just make yourself look bad.
Heat not really in there. I don't see anything in there. Not in the top 14 picks. Pat Riley even says he doesn't believe in the draft. He likes going after
he
free
hates the
agents.
draft.
Yeah, he doesn't get it, doesn't care. I mean, is it really that big of a game changer?
It depends. I mean, you have like the first 3 picks. Yeah, it could be.
The Celtics have used it to their favor, right? I mean, they are what they are right now.
Sixers too.
Yeah.
Sixers had a crap. I mean, the Celtics, the Cavaliers had a bunch of picks. They just picked poorly. Like, who was the kid they picked first overall? Anthony something?
Yes.
From UNLV. I mean, he played like half a season, and then I don't even know where he is right now.
I can't think of his
now
name.
I have to look it up.
Yeah, it was so bad.
It depends. If you have one of those first 3 picks, it could matter. You could do something with it. I mean, think about predominantly who's been picked first overall, second overall, third overall. The 2006?
With Wade and LeBron?
Was Wade,
2003.
LeBron, 2003.
Yeah.
Wade, LeBron, Melo, Bosh. Like, that was like a big draft.
Darko Milicic.
Wasn't Brian Scalabrine drafted that year,
I hope
too?
he was. I hope he was.
The White Mamba.
Well, the question that was going around yesterday, because here you got the Warriors doing what they're doing. Did Kevin Durant ruin the NBA? Everybody was fighting about it yesterday. We'll bring up the argument, what was said next.
You can tell his wife. Just don't tell those other guys. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
And J.R. Smith and Bayless. And Bayless with a forearm shot. That's a nasty shot from J.R. Smith. He saved our season. Offensive foul on J.R. Smith. Absolutely swipes there. Terry taking exception in that way. And Harrison Barnes is karate chops here. Oh, yeah. Whistles come in quickly. And that may be a flagrant foul.
Just as he picks up momentum right there, Smith does knock him off balance.
When the player goes up in the air, you can't do that. Not at all. He's made 2 nice defensive plays. And a foul against the Cavaliers for J.R. Smith.
And the hard foul by Smith. Simpson is pushing and shoving. And away from the ball, J.R. Smith has been whistled. He got Jay Crowder. Oh, wow. Clocked across the head there.
Yeah, just gooning it up last night. J.R. Smith, man. Not scoring, but he's out there just kicking ass.
Gosh. Those were all different plays, all different instances of J.R. Smith being a goon.
Predominantly in a Knicks uniform, which is kind of it's kind of depressing.
Sums up his night last night. So
pretty much.
Basically, the one at the end against Jay Crowder was against the Celtics when he was on the Nuggets, and he literally turned around and cold clocked Jay Crowder.
Oh gosh,
it was bad. They had to carry Jay Crowder off the court.
Oh geez.
Oh, he hit him so hard it was ridiculous.
Well, one of the fights that I'd heard yesterday, and you look at the NBA, what has happened, and you look at how dominant the Warriors were, and the question was, who would give the Warriors the best game? Is it the Rockets? Would it be the Celtics? Would it be the Cavaliers? Of the 3 teams, who would give them the best run at the title? Well, the Rockets are getting their shot right now, and then either the Celtics or the Cavaliers are up next. And you think the Warriors are probably just going to crush everybody that's going to be in their path.
Yeah, most likely. You're saying who would be the best shot for them to face to win? Or who do you think has the best shot against them?
Yeah, who has the best? I mean, are we seeing it right now? And the argument being that, again, you probably have the lineups are wrong. The seeding is done wrong in the NBA Finals because you should have the Rockets in the next round. You shouldn't have them in this round.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I think that I think the Golden State is an anomaly. Like they're just an absolute.
I mean, are
monster?
they though?
The machine.
Are they though? I mean, because we've seen so many dynasties in the NBA.
Why would you even ask that question? Are they though? Have you watched this team play?
I don't really think they are an anomaly.
Is this bad for the NBA? Was the question. Having these kind of teams like the Warriors, is this just bad? Because the pick at the beginning of the season, who's going to win the NBA Finals?
Warriors.
Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
And so what is coming out? It's just basically living out to it. There's no mystery. There's no, I don't know. The NFL seems to be pretty well balanced year after year. When you started this last year, how many people were being Philadelphia Eagles, baby? They're going to take it.
Nobody.
So, there's a lot more anticipation. There's a lot more of mystery. I mean, it's like going into every single movie you ever watched knowing the exact ending of the movie.
Yeah.
And
Titanic.
Yeah, it is.
Over and over again.
And so you're like, okay, is this bad for the NBA that you have these teams? And, some people are saying, well, Kevin Durant has ruined the NBA, but you can't say, no, you didn't.
It's his fault.
It's not his fault, and it's not the first time. The NBA has this problem. You can't blame Kevin Durant because before Kevin Durant, you had the Miami Heat.
Right.
And before the Miami Heat, you've had the Chicago Bulls, and before the Chicago Bulls, you've had the LA Lakers, and you've had the Boston Celtics. You know, it's built, the NBA is these shifting dynasties and a lack of parity. You don't have a lot of question marks when you enter any NBA season as to who might win it.
It's
At least
always
not
been
lately.
that way.
It has been a while, yeah.
But the piecing together from other teams, that's fairly new.
That part's new. The super teams,
what they used to do was they used to actually draft well and develop the players. And then now they just go, okay, where can we get this? Is what it started with. Remember when Karl Malone went to the Lakers,
right?
And they tried to put that together. Like that was like the first kind of taste of it, and then it started to evolve. But when it happened with Miami, that was like when we were like sitting there like, holy crap, it's like a super team. They just took these two monster players on their respective teams. One is maybe the best basketball player of all time. Put him on a team with two other players that could be in that conversation as well. That's a super team.
Doesn't it feel like a form of collusion though? Because a lot of these players work out in the offseason.
Oh, yeah.
And especially with the Heat. I remember watching the footage of D. Wade in that restaurant as LeBron was making the decision.
Mm-hmm.
And as you saw it, yeah, he was excited, but you're just like, these guys are buds.
Oh,
there
they
had to
knew.
be talk. There was collusion. And it just feels that way now when you're talking about LeBron. It's like, okay, who's LeBron talking to? Has he had any off-court conversations with so-and-so? Because all you're seeing is these players setting it up saying, we're going to put together the next super team. And that's the question. That's what the NBA's come. And is this good for the league that every single year you come into every season and you're like, we're going to be shocked if this team doesn't win the NBA championship? And how exciting does the season become then?
I think it's to a different degree, though, because on one hand, I get what you're saying, Ricky, in that it's different now because of the way they're building the so-called super teams.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also always kind of been this way. I mean, the Celtics...
Yeah, it has. I mean, you can't argue that. That's why I think it's not on Kevin Durant.
No.
He didn't ruin the NBA. He's playing into the system that has existed long even before him. And this happens. I mean, if you want to go back to Kobe and Shaq, in the playoffs, they went like, what, 16-1?
Right? I mean, you're right. They won 3 titles. They would have won more if they weren't,
Sure.
they didn't hate each other.
Right.
And Shaq didn't leave.
It's really about who you buddy with. I mean, that really sums up who's going to win these NBA titles. And you can't do that in the NFL. You can't be like, I'm going to go play with all my friends. That just doesn't happen.
I
think
much
the way
harder.
the contracts work in the NFL makes it a little bit different too. But I mean, like we go back to remember the banana boat.
Yeah.
Remember that? And that's when all the rumors were saying because at the time the Knicks had massive amounts of cap space. Melo was there.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, well, that 2003 draft, those dudes always stuck together. So you can see LeBron, Chris Paul, and maybe Dwayne Wade going to the Knicks to team up to make this super team. And that never friggin' happened. But I think in this situation, Kevin Durant looked at the entire landscape of the NBA and go, Golden State's my best spot.
Yeah,
I'm
and
going to go there. And you would do the same thing if you were him.
So do they need to step in and try to change things so that the NBA...
The Boston Celtics are the future of the NBA. This type of situation, what's happening right now, if these guys can make it to the finals, it's going to redo the entire landscape. Because now you're going to look at teams that go, wait, maybe a good coach is necessary rather than the teams running the whole thing like LeBron does with the Cavs.
Yeah, but to be fair, the Celtics, what they're doing now, if they make it to the finals, I mean, obviously they're up 2-0 right now, but you never know. If they make it, they're kind of what Golden State was before they got Kevin Durant. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and I think people are missing that too. Is that Golden State was not a super team?
Right.
They were just really good, and then they added a superstar.
Right. So
prior to that, they had those guys.
Are the Celtics when they get Kyrie and everybody back? Are the Celtics what Golden State was without Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
Okay. So do they still need to add that superhero piece?
Well, I mean, but you see what happens when you do it, and now they added 2, and both of them aren't playing this season, and look where they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So when you come back next season,
they're slated to win next season. They have to be favored.
It's
even
amazing.
if Golden State makes no adjustments and Golden State's entire roster comes back, the Celtics are favored to beat the Warriors next year.
I personally think that the Celtics, if they go against the Golden State Warriors in the finals next year with Kyrie healthy, which you never know, and Gordon Hayward healthy, they can be the team to dismantle the super team.
But they are the favorite. So as we look to next year's season, they're
not going to be the favorite in Vegas's eyes. But what I'm saying is that they should be the favorite because that team is incredible. and they have no superstars.
So if we don't touch the NBA, it's going to work itself out.
It should.
It always,
But this way. But now they're gonna look at coaching because who ruined the NBA? LeBron ruined the NBA because LeBron really was the one that created the narrative that the players run the league, not the league. Like the players run the team, not the coaches. That's why David Blatt was out in a second. And who the hell was David Blatt in the first place? He coached some fucking this effing Sri Lanka team a long time ago.
We'll take care of that.
Yeah. Apologize. I got so mad about David Blatt. he coached some team.
I love the passion.
Yeah, I apologize. He coached some team in Sri Lanka or something like that. He was bounced, and they brought in Tyronn Lue, who's basically like Pinocchio, and LeBron is Geppetto. Mm-hmm. And that Geppetto thing is the reason why the NBA is going downhill. It's because you can't let that happen.
So for that reason, there's no way that you could see LeBron on the Celtics next year because he couldn't deal with the coach of that.
No, I don't think that's a good match. Would they be incredibly unstoppable? Yes, but and I won't even say as far as you're going, Ricky, and that LeBron ruined the NBA. It depends on how you look at it. LeBron changed the NBA.
He got you a couple championships.
Yeah,
I don't know about you.
I'm not going to complain. He changed the NBA in the way that, like you said, the players kind of run the league now. But again, it's just magnified now. It's always kind of been this way. Even with Jordan, or you go back to Kareem and James Worthy and Magic. I mean, or you go back to Bill Russell. And Will Chamberlain. I mean, these guys were always running the league.
Yeah, but these guys had strong coaches. I mean, you look at all those dynasties and all those coaches.
Yeah, they had Riley. There was Auerbach. But they were always
college basketball was different back then, too. The people actually went all 4 years for the most part. I mean, Magic Johnson went all 4 years.
Yeah, but has any of these super teams not had? I mean, I think Spoelstra was the first one that really ran a super team that wasn't a super coach, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
he was good. Not saying he wasn't.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he definitely wasn't elevated. And I said it to Matt Lincoln yesterday, the last time that he was in here. I said, if that didn't happen, we'll be talking about Eric Spoelstra is such a great coach. And he says you can't really answer that question. It's true, but you have to think about that at some point in time.
Yeah. Well, the other great one, are you guys excited about the Last Dance? It is the new special. It's going to be coming out in 2019. Michael Jordan. It's going to show never-before-seen footage from 97 to 98 with the Chicago Bulls. ESPN and Netflix are working on it together. It's going to be 10 hours long.
Kill me.
The guy who did Andre the Giant on HBO and a lot of the 30 for 30 films, who did the Fab Five too, which is good, in the 85 Bears, he's got a good track record. So I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah,
it should be.
You could do like an hour or maybe two. 10 hours is a bit much.
But what I want to see more. I want to see the gambling. How bad was it? And the philandering. That's what I want the special to
be.
And
do they uncover the reason why his father died?
Well,
that's what you want to see.
That's what I'd be
stuff.
I'd watch that for 10 hours.
I'm more intrigued with that than seeing uncut footage from 97 and 98.
Yeah, but him taking jump shots in a gym? Screw that.
Yeah, give us the really good stuff. All right, coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Man, oh man, did you hear about what happened to this Jupiter golfer when he didn't play well this weekend?
Worst nightmare.
Man, Lucas Glover, he came home to a not very friendly wife. We'll tell you about it next.
Be part of the show on Twitter at 640 The Hurricane, hashtag Kevin's Other Show.
So you have a bad weekend. Things don't go your way on the golf course. You come home to an understanding wife, right?
No.
Usually.
Not if you're Lucas Glover.
No, my answer is no.
You come home to an ass whooping.
Yeah, and don't bring your mom over either.
Oh, my gosh. What a torrential mess this thing was.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Lucas Glover, he doesn't do too well. TPC Sawgrass over the weekend. They're at Ponte Vedra Beach there near Jacksonville, and comes home. I didn't see in the story, and I was looking for this. Is his wife hammered, or is she just like a wet cat?
Yeah, that picture was a bit. No, you talking about her mugshot?
The mugshot looked.
She looks scary.
But I couldn't tell if it was crying eyes or bloodshot eyes from being hammered. So I didn't see in the story, but all I know is she goes after him. Somehow then Lucas Glover's mom gets involved. She goes after Lucas Glover's mom, and the cops get called. And I guess this all happens because she started off by calling him a loser and a P-bomb.
A what? Oh, P-bomb. Okay, yeah, got it. Okay.
Cat, P-bomb, that whole thing, yeah. So that was all thrown
Don't want
out
to
there.
curse twice in one show.
No, yeah, let's try to avoid it.
And she was just warming up. The cops show up. She gets handcuffed for domestic violence. They're getting ready to try to throw her into the squad car, and she starts screaming at them, wait till the tour, the PGA hears about this. You're going to lose your job. This, and here's the money line. This is why cops get shot in the face.
Oh, my goodness.
This is why cops get shot in the face.
Yeah, you don't want to say that.
See, that sounds like an alcohol-fueled... If not, you are a deranged woman. Wow. Like, if that can come out of your mouth without sweet alcohol, I'm, like, scared to death of this woman.
Yeah, I mean, you honestly have to hope at that point that there has to be some substance involved.
You're hoping. I mean, if you're reading the story, you're like, you pray that she was hammered and just said, like, oh, I said what? I can't believe I said that. That's not me.
That's ridiculous.
If you're completely sober and you're going to drop that out while getting arrested after attacking your husband for only playing badly in a weekend golf tournament and then going after his mom?
Yeah, that's...
and then you tell a cop this is why you get shot in the face?
Not a good idea.
She said, wait till I talk to the judge. You're going to be effing fired over this.
Wait till I talk to the judge? You just threatened his life. I'm pretty sure you're the one in trouble.
Unhinged.
Ow.
I mean, unhinged. This is a Cat 5 meltdown, y'all.
It is.
She's got a little bit of a wet cat look to her.
This is crazy.
A couple other pictures I pulled up. Some of them, she looks like a complete smoke show. Other ones looks like she hasn't eaten in 30 years.
I mean, because I was going to say, I hope.
Yeah, I got to find out more. And you know, it's local. They live right outside of Jupiter in Martin County. And...
God.
Well, I mean, just down the road was Justin Thomas was celebrating becoming #1 golfer in the world.
Yeah.
And here you go. I mean, the tale of two households right down the street.
Bit, yeah.
Lucas Glover is he's over there celebrating. I'm #1 in the world. Lucas Glover's getting his ass
beat up by his
He's
wife.
dealing with this.
I was so confused because when I first heard the story, I thought they said it was Crispin Glover that beat up a golfer, and I was like, what is? We haven't heard anything from Crispin
Wait, you mean
Glover.
McFly?
Yeah. I was so confused. I was like, what is Crispin Glover doing beating up golfers?
Oh, I wish
then
that was
I realized
the story.
it was Krista and it was his wife.
Yeah, no.
Both stories, phenomenal.
Yes, either way.
Gosh.
I mean, is she really good looking? Because, like, it has to be
there's
some type of
these
same grace.
pictures that are like, yeah, and other pictures. I swear, like, there's one picture where she looks like her neck is not attached to her head.
Oh, that doesn't
She's
sound
like
good.
super skinny.
Huh.
Really? Okay.
That doesn't sound attractive.
Well, at least she'll get 3 square meals now. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, good for her.
She's going.
Well, so what is going on with this soccer stadium in Miami? Apparently things are changing a little bit. The last time we heard anything about it, they're going to be putting up a stadium in Overtown. We're like going, I don't know.
It's a great idea.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it was going to be a stadium without parking. So it was like, you're going to find a place to park it.
We'll just put it on 95. We're going to build it right on 95.
You're going to find a place somewhere in lovely Overtown.
That's right.
Yeah.
To park and then sprint into the stadium and pray that you still...
Yeah.
Your car and your rims are still there.
I mean, well, that's
And
getting
that you even make it to the stadium.
Right. Yeah. So the latest that I'm hearing now is that David Beckham and his group is looking to move the stadium to the Mel Reese Golf Course, which is right next to Miami International. It's just east of it. It bellies right up to it.
Okay.
Now, there's a couple benefits to this.
It's like Coral Gables, isn't it?
It's more...
Yeah, it's north. It's north of that.
Yeah.
But it's, a little bit west of downtown. It's going to be right off the Dolphin Expressway. So you'd be right just heading west of downtown. It's real close to Metro Rail and Tri-Rail. So you'd be able to take some mass transit, and then a short walk would get you there. But it gives you a lot more room. They want to do a massive soccer complex. They want to have a youth academy, a restaurant, retail. They also want a tech village, office complex that's going to be there. They're not going to have that room in Overtown. Overtown is just, you're going to just squeeze this soccer stadium in that block.
Unless they just turn Overtown into it.
I mean, that's what it would have to be. I mean, because honestly, people do live in Overtown. I mean, so where were they planning on putting all this stuff?
People lived at City Place, too. They mowed them down to be able to put that thing up. So
yeah, and I think the plan on the Overtown, just reading some of the story, they were just planning on people just going to be walking over to the stadium. So
from where?
Their homes.
It's a terrible idea.
I was like, what? Okay, so that right away.
They have no leverage on
Who from
this.
Broward or Palm Beach is ever going to go to a soccer game?
Not a chance in hell.
So it's like
especially there.
You're only going to be drawing. I mean, that's your plan. You're only going to draw from this. I mean, I see a flaw.
A little bit.
A little bit. And it's not like they can turn around to Overtown like, give us more space or else we're going to the Opalaka.
Yeah, no, there's no room. I mean, most of the city
there's-
blocks, it's full. I mean, right around the stadium, it's full. Where are you going to put this stuff? So, yeah, they've got to get a vote, though. It's kind of like one of those deals. And here you are. Miami has swallowed how many bad stadium deals?
Yeah.
You know, and they're even saying that. They're like saying, look, we're not going to give Beckham a massive deal on this. Like, don't think that this is going to be the third time we're going to, like, blow it.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, this one is not going to be paid by taxpayer money.
It's got to be a vote, though.
Yeah.
The voter approval, they got to get voter approval, and they say they probably won't get it on the ballot till November. So the delay on this, I mean, they've been talking about this stadium.
It's been a while, right? It feels like forever.
4 years, probably 4 years. I mean,
Yeah.
when I was working in Miami when we were down there, I mean, I remember
Really? They was
that's
talking back then.
Yeah, they were talking, and then they were talking about putting it right close to like Brickell. That's where the plan was then.
Wasn't
I mean,
there? Didn't they want to put it like next to at one point in time, Marlins Park, to have like this sports complex?
Yeah,
Wasn't
I think
that part
they
of
were.
it?
Yeah, I think you're talking about that. Which I mean, they just honestly, these you need something. I mean, that's the problem that they've got with every stadium here in South Florida. And the best is American Airlines Arena, but it's not like there's a ton. I mean, just south of it, within walking distance, that's the best one. You got Bayfront.
Yeah.
But you look at Marlins Park, there's nothing outside of there. If you want to go to a bar, where are you going? If they do, you look at Hard Rock Stadium, you want to go to a bar, where are you going?
Nowhere.
You talk about this soccer stadium, where they're talking about putting it Overtown. You definitely ain't going to a bar.
You're not going. No.
No. So it's like, can we start building
It's
like our
like
stadium?
strippers with socks type of bars over there.
Yeah. They're also looking in Doral, so nothing is
Oh,
definite.
Doral. That's a fun one, too.
But this
You
using
can go
this
to the ranch after.
Yeah. I think using this city-owned golf course, which is apparently just maybe breaking even, is probably the best plan. And I see soccer. It looks like a part. I'm actually always intrigued. I watch soccer because they've been having some kind of playoff stuff, whatever it is, in Europe on ESPN. And it always looks like a party. Yeah.
It's a great time. Telling you, it's such a good time.
I know. It looks
is.
like a good time. I mean,
Unbelievable.
I could care less about the game, but it looks like fun inside
You
that
get
stadium.
into it, though. You get
I know.
really into it. You're just locked in. It's like all of a sudden, like when it's supposed to be, like when you're watching sports, how you're supposed to be just completely taken out of the rest of the world and you just paying attention to that. It actually does that.
It does when you're live there. I mean, I've always said this. When I went to Brazil and Colombia, when they played at Dolphin Stadium a few years back, that is, to this day, one of the best live events I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
I can see it. Yeah. So I'm really kind of getting into the soccer thing. I just don't know when they're going to make it happen. I
Maybe
mean, here
hopefully
we are.
eventually. I've been excited about it. It's like, just find a home already. Come on, guys.
I don't know when that's going to happen. Got to wait till at least November to get your next word on it. Coming up here in a couple of minutes, the Mets make one of the most unbelievable HR moves I've ever heard. They are getting sued, and they're going to lose. I'll tell you all about it coming up next.
Think Gloria did a bad job? Wait till you hear this crap. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
I can't even believe the story of this longtime employee for the New York Mets that just got canned for laughing at a dirty joke.
Come on.
He was fired for laughing at a dirty joke.
Who told the dirty joke?
Another coworker. They went into a room that required a key card,
Yeah.
and they're in there, and this one coworker is telling all these filthy jokes that had, again, the P-bomb. We're full of dirty language today.
Yeah, it's a very dirty
I
show.
apologize, guys.
One
All
of them was
right,
actually
I'm
said.
sorry.
There is another employee in the room next to them that hears this going on. She starts recording the conversation.
Oh, my gosh.
Gets all this profanity and these dirty jokes that this coworker is telling this other guy, takes it to HR. HR fires both these guys, and the guy's like, I was laughing. And they're like going, doesn't matter. You were involved in vulgarity inside the stadium, and you are not fit to work for these Mets.
Are the Mets the Catholic
It's
baseball
so
team?
so
or-
unbelievable.
I mean, not even. This is just like
Right.
This is like fascism. This is like you're.
Fascism.
It is. I mean, you are actually now censoring
Yeah.
people around you. What is going on?
Yeah, they thought that they were alone in this room, like nobody else was there.
Yeah.
He said in his comments, it wasn't intended to harm or disparage anybody. It was generic. No names were used. It wasn't addressed at anyone. So it's not like it was racial hate, humor, or anything like that. It was just vulgarity. It was the kind of stuff that you would expect possibly two dudes saying. And he learned that a female coworker recorded the private conversation through the wall, takes it to HR. He said, we were eavesdropped on by a woman in an adjacent booth, which normally is unoccupied. I feel like our privacy was invaded. They say, no, you violated our handbook. He and his attorney have gone through the handbook and said there is no violation in here that we have done. And so we going to be suing the Mets.
Wow. Good.
And he says, look, I don't want any like crazy amounts of money. It's not like I'm suing for $5 million. And what is it? They always do that pain and anguish. No, he's not doing that at all. He said, I just want my job back. He said, I've worked for the Mets forever, and I get fired for this? This is how you get rid of me?
But how do you go back and work that job after that, though? After you sue the team, how do you go get your job back?
Yeah, I would think it would be awkward, too.
That's why. Just take the money.
But, I mean, if you've worked forever, if you work forever there and you love your job, and you're like, I love baseball, I love the Mets, I love being around it, this was my life, and I laughed at a dirty joke, and I get canned over this. I mean, how do the Mets even win this?
What was the joke?
Do we know the joke? That would be great.
I don't know, but I can dial up 10 that had the P word in it. Right off the top of my head. I can get you one. Yeah.
I mean, if this is how things are going, we are all going to be fired by tomorrow. I mean, what are we doing here?
I'm surprised I still have my job, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. Time for that unnecessary check to see how Tim Tebow's doing. Boy's been on fire the last 10 games in AA. Yeah.
I'm ready.
2 home runs, 333 batting average, 492 OBP, 567 slugging.
Stanton who?
Right? He's now up to hitting 260 on the season.
Wow. Nice. Against the Savannah Sand Gnats.
Hey, listen.
Jacksonville Sunshines or whatever they're called.
Don't worry about it. Okay. What was it, like the small shrimp or something? Jumbo shrimp.
Jumbo shrimp.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. He has struck out an alarming 49 times and 104 at-bats, though. That's unreal, right?
How many times is he getting to that? They go like half an order?
Striking out half the time he gets to the plate.
Oh.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, I guess if you have more tries at it, you can be able to do better. But, I mean,
yeah.
How many times is he getting at bat? Those games must fly by.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Anytime, because he's just going to strike out in, what, 2-3 minutes?
I mean, for him to have those stats and then strike out half the time he's there?
Yeah.
It's kind of insane.
Probably really, I mean, okay, is he realistically going to make the Mets roster? The Mets started great. They're tanking now.
It's anything but a novelty.
Yeah. You got to make room. I mean, they got 40 men on their roster, so somebody's got to go somewhere if the Mets are going to bring them up at the end of the season like we've talked about. And I kind of only watch this to say, is Tebow finally going to hang it up after this year and say, okay, the baseball experiment is over? He's going to be 31 in August, and he's got that offer to go play football in Orlando for Spurrier.
Next season, right? Was that 2019 talking about?
It would start. I would think it would mess with his training for baseball because I think they started, in January, February?
Yeah, I think it's February. It's after the Super Bowl.
Why don't you just try something else? Why don't you like bowling or something?
Hey, all right.
Like there's professional leagues for that.
Probably
Jesus
would.
loves bowling.
You're such a jerk.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, like he might as well just start spreading the wealth. Football done, baseball done.
Jesus loves bowling.
Does.
Where does that even come from?
I don't know.
He told me.
I mean, does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sports Jesus.
That's right. Yeah. See, if anybody's gonna know, it's him.
Thank you.
I think I found a team that actually might be more pathetic than the Marlins, and it's not because of the record. It's because of the talent they have and how they play. The Dodgers.
Oh.
You realize they only have one more win and one less loss than the Marlins?
That blew my mind when I saw that.
I mean, and you're looking at Puig and the pitching that they have got.
Yeah. It's kind of insane to see that you have such a great roster. And were they in the World Series last year?
Not last year, but I mean, they were in the pennant just a couple years ago.
They sniff so close, and they have a World Series winning caliber roster.
Yeah.
They have had. And they've, moved around some pieces, but I mean, for them to still have what they have, they lost to the last place team for the 5th straight game.
That is not good, man. That is not good. I mean, if you're a Dodger fan, it's got to be more frustrating to be a Dodger fan at this point than a Marlin fan because you expect it to be good.
Right. Marlins, we get it. I mean, we're ready for misery. We're ready for a shellacking. Dodger fans are like, going, what? They came in last night facing off against Wei Yin Chen, who had an ERA of 10.22 coming into the game.
He's horrible.
He's atrocious, and he gives up only 3 hits, no runs.
Wow, it made him look good.
Well,
it took the Dodgers to make Wei Yin Chen look good.
Last year, the Dodgers were on pace to win more games than any National League team in 111 years.
This is where they are right now. They're 16-25. It's their worst start in 60 years.
And now they're the LA Marlins.
It's unbelievable, yeah. Got a game tonight, tomorrow as well. So, yeah, the Marlins could flip the script on that and actually pass them in this series if they sweep it.
It's just unbelievable. There's so many bad teams in baseball. So many.
There are so many, but you're right. I mean, as discouraging as it is to be a Marlins fan, just keep in mind, you've always got the Dodgers.
That's right.
Check out the show on YouTube, Kevin's Other Show. You got the podcast, and you can also find us on Twitter at Kevin's Other Show.
You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. And by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm Beach. A world-class experience. Shop BremenPorsche.com now. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.